Borussia Dortmund make contract offer to Chelsea target Youssoufa Moukoko. Chelsea are currently favourites to win the race to sign Borussia Dortmund striker Youssoufa Moukoko, but Dortmund are now trying their best to keep the player at the club. The current lure of a move for Moukoko is the fact that he is available on a free transfer in June. Dortmund up until now had not made any concrete moves to tie him down to a new move, but they now reportedly have. It will be up to Moukoko what he views as the best move to make next. According to Bild in Germany, Borussia Dortmund have made a final contract offer to Youssoufa Moukoko to try and keep him at the club. If Moukoko declines, he will leave for free in June. Chelsea are in the race for Moukoko quite heavily at the minute, and have done some groundwork on the deal. The Blues will be hoping Moukoko will decline this new contract offer. In the new deal, according to the report, Moukoko could earn up to €6 million and would triple his current salary. The new offer will need to be competitive, as it is likely the likes of Chelsea and Liverpool will be offering a high wage to try and secure the player. Moukoko is free to negotiate with clubs in January if he does not come to an agreement with Dortmund before then. The German club are finally pushing. Inter Milan will try to extend Romelu Lukaku's loan. Romelu Lukaku has been poor for most of 2022, but Inter Milan are actually hoping that poor form can work in their favour as they look to extend his loan deal at the club. Chelsea are unlikely to want Lukaku back considering his performances and the style of play Graham Potter employs at the club, and Inter Milan are hoping to take advantage of that. As it stands, Lukaku would return to Chelsea next June. According to Alvise Cagnazzo of the Mail, Inter Milan are unhappy with Romelu Lukaku's performances since returning to the club, but will try to take advantage of it by asking Chelsea to allow him to extend the loan another year. In the current contract there is a purchase option that is valid in the summer, but Inter Milan will delay that due to his performances. Lukaku's form has been poor for both club and country, and it is a real concern for Inter Milan. The club do however seem willing to wait to see if the Belgian can regain the form which made him a hero once upon a time in Milan. The next few months before June will be vital for Lukaku as he looks to regain his form and start scoring goals again. An unhappy Italian club, and an English club that do not want him back as it stands. Romelu Lukaku has a lot of work to do. Graham Potter sends message to Chelsea outcast Hakim Ziyech. Graham Potter has urged Morocco World Cup star Hakim Ziyech to remain patient for a chance to salvage his Chelsea career. The former Ajax star has been reduced to a bit-part role under Thomas Tuchel's successor and is yet to start a Premier League game since the change of management in September. Indeed, Ziyech has made only 3 appearances since Potter took over, but made light of that lack of game time at the World Cup, where his performances helped the Atlas Lions become the first ever African team to reach a semi-final. The 29-year-old has been linked with a move to Serie A champions AC Milan in recent months, while reports have also claimed he is keen on a return to Ajax. Potter, however, insists the Maverick winger has the talent necessary to become a key part of his short and long-term plans, but he will need to bide his time given the ferocious competition for places. He said, "He's been a little bit away from the first 11, but he's been involved in the games. He came on in the first game as a sub. We know his qualities, we like him as a player, he plays in between the lines, has fantastic qualities which we saw at the World Cup. We can speak a lot, but the chances are there are always good players who aren't in the starting 11. You have to be patient. I'm delighted for him, I kept in touch with him over the World Cup. I'm delighted for him that he got the game time and helped his team. He's a good guy and he's got quality." Potter, meanwhile, refused to be drawn on Edouard Mendy's contract situation amid reports that the Senegal international was unhappy having received a contract offer that he is said to have branded disrespectful. "It's not my place to speak publicly about players' contract situation," said Potter. "That's between them and the club." Chelsea star Edouard Mendy rejects disrespectful new contract offer. Chelsea goalkeeper Edouard Mendy has rejected the offer of a new 6-year contract with negotiations going nowhere. The Senegal international returned to first-team training last week, having helped the AFCON champions reach the last 16 stage of the World Cup in Qatar. Mendy lost his place as Chelsea's undisputed number 1 last month, but the foot injury sustained by Kepa Arrizabalaga in the defeat at Brighton is likely to provide the 30-year-old with a chance to re-establish his position. The 30-year-old's long-term future, however, is less than certain, with just 2.5 years left on his current deal and the man who recommended his signing, Petr Cech, no longer at the club. Manager Graham Potter and new technical director, Christopher Vivell, whose appointment was confirmed on Wednesday, are likely to be in the market for a new goalkeeper more in line with the former Brighton boss's style of play. Brighton's Roger Sanchez and Porto's Diogo Costa have been linked with moves to Stamford Bridge, but the West London club are still making efforts to tie Mendy to a longer deal and protect his value. The former Rennes goalkeeper, however, is said to have been disappointed with Chelsea's latest offer, which represented only a minimal rise on his current £100,000 a week salary. A source told Sun Sport, "Edouard is back at Chelsea and he is ready to play. But there is a feeling that the contract situation is just going nowhere. Edouard has won some huge trophies for Chelsea, but there is a sense that he is not being shown enough respect by the club over a new deal." Chelsea approached Neymar's camp in Qatar. Todd Boehly is learning on the job as Chelsea's sporting director, and he was building some more relationships in Qatar during the World Cup. One of those relationships was with the camp of a certain Neymar Jr. Neymar was linked with a move away in the summer, with Manchester City being the most likely club to sign him. Speculation has died down, but Chelsea could reignite reports in January. There was contact between Chelsea and Neymar's camp while in Qatar. According to Simon Phillips, Todd Boehly and Bedad Eghbali met with representatives of Neymar's camp while in Qatar. The contents of the conversation were obviously unknown, but it is interesting to see the conversation take place in the first instance. Neymar was linked with moves away in the summer from PSG, but nothing ever materialized in the end. It would not be a surprise to see Neymar join the Premier League for the final months of his career. Chelsea are looking for a forward in January to fill the void Armando Broja has left, but Neymar would cost a lot of money in wages. Boehly met with representatives of other players while in Qatar, but Neymar was certainly the most high-profile on record so far. Nothing concrete of note at the moment, but conversations did happen. It may be something to keep an eye on.